The biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex with the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. Presented by G2G Bars. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Yeah, summer's already started up with this music and with our view tonight at the brand new digs at the ballpark at America First Square here in downtown Daybreak. This is quite a sight to behold. And we got the music jamming above in the speakers. We have Alex, our producer, who's been throwing the music down the pipeline as well to get us ready for some baseball, because it is the opening series between the Salt Lake Bees and the Reno Aces, who are in town. And that's not just a game between the Reno Aces and the Salt Lake Bees, because we've seen this before. We've seen this matchup a million times. It's about what tonight represents, which is a brand new ballpark, and it's really awesome for us. Our show is brought to you by G2G Bars. And we appreciate all the support that the folks here at the ballpark have given us today. As we walked in, everybody was smiling. Everybody was nice. He took his construction hat off just to chat with us right now. Steve Starks, CEO of the LHM Group, joining us on the program. Steve, thanks for having us, man.
Good to be here. Thank you.
That's a little in jest, but at the same time, everybody was like, oh, no, we were all wearing construction hats yesterday. And I said –
all hands on deck today.
I mean, this is
all hands on deck.
There's been a reality of people working around the clock for the last few weeks, right, to make sure that this is buttoned up for today and to get this thing going.
14 months ago is when the hole was dug, the first shovel on the ground.
Wow.
And so think about 14 months, and you're looking at a baseball stadium, a new megaplex theater, that plaza, and a whole lot more to come.
Yeah, the apartments are going to be out there in right field, right?
Yeah.
See, that's awesome. I mean,
did you catch the name, the pennant? That's
no,
the name of the
that's cool.
apartments.
That's really cool. Yeah, Ty
cool.
was just telling us about how he's like, look, in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see it. You're going to see the frames start to pop up, and we're going to have this thing. And that's a big deal to be able to not just have the ballpark being built here, but an entire community is going to be centered around, and this is already a community that's been booming and growing out here.
I mean, right behind you is the tracks line. People will get off tracks. They'll walk through the plaza. There's summer concerts. There's winter ice skating. There's movie theaters, bowling, arcade. There's restaurants. And so it's going to be an area that's going to be activated year-round. It's an entertainment district, and you will have people out in the plaza while a Bees game is being played here, eating, enjoying, listening to music. It's just going to be a really great community gathering place.
So take us back to the beginning when this idea was born, that you wanted to do this in Daybreak and build what we are currently sitting in.
Well, knowing that our lease was going to expire in Salt Lake, we started to explore every option, and we went on a tour. I think there was a period where we visited 7 stadiums in 3 days.
Wow.
Across the country, and we met with architects. We looked at the best practices across the country in minor league baseball and Major League Baseball. And as we evaluated this as a potential location, we thought it's the fastest growing part of Salt Lake County. It's close to northern Utah County. It's accessible from every direction. And we could create something that's more than a baseball stadium, but it will anchor a mixed-use entertainment district where people can live, work, and play, where kids can ride bikes to the game, where people can take scooters to the game. And so to us, that's how the idea was born. And then we have an incredibly talented group at LHM Miller Real Estate that started to lay it out. And we started to talk to the market, and there was great enthusiasm. You will see announced in the coming months some of the best names in retail that will be announcing that they're coming here. We have great local restaurants that are already announced. And so this is really the anchor for what will be a great mixed-use development.
Wow. You guys have been working on this obviously for a long time. It's not something that you haven't done before. I mean, certainly when we talk about either renovating or building or getting these things done, big projects is what LHM does. I mean, it's nothing new. However, every one of these things presents a big challenge, and so what's the challenge been? Has there been any kind? I mean, obviously there's the time crunch. I mean, 14 months is insane to build from one spot to the next, but when you guys came out, and how accepting have all of the cities and all the surrounding communities been to be able to make sure that they go, hey, look, we're partners with you guys in this too. We want to make sure it happens.
South Jordan City's been incredible, and we would not be able to be open in 14 months without a city partner that was so willing to help and not be an obstructionist. They have been incredible. The mayor was here working and walking at 7:30 last night. I mean, it's just a testament to her and the way that she's approaching business, Mayor Don Ramsey. And so I think that as you mentioned, the timeline was a bit of a challenge. And I also think that we have so many projects going on at once. The choreographing of various contractors and crews working on a site together has been a challenge. I would come out here because I live close by, and you would literally see 20 different subgroups working all in harmony with each other, staying out of each other's way. But that's what had to happen to get this to where it is today. And so just coordinating between different companies, different crews, different subcontractors, all going vertical at once has been something that's been fun to see.
This is just phenomenal to see this come together like this. And you guys are also doing big things with Big League Utah, and we all know you're trying to impress Major League Baseball and bring a Major League Baseball team here. How important is a project like this and this kind of a step in order to get to this point where you're proving to Major League Baseball what you can do?
I think it's helpful for our organization leading out to demonstrate that we can continue to do these things. You knew that Larry built the arena.
Yeah.
And then when the founder of a company passes away, there's always a question mark. Hey, do they still have what it takes? And I was with Larry the week that he died in his hospital room, and he called together executives, and he said, you guys will be astonished at what you'll be able to do, and it will exceed what I've done. And I say that with humility because we all stand on his shoulders and his shadow. But I think that the renovation of the Delta Center, the construction of this ballpark, the way that the business has doubled since his death demonstrate that, hey, the Miller family, the Larry H. Miller Company's best days are present and ahead of them, and we have a great legacy to build upon. But we are MLB ready as an organization, as an ownership group, and more importantly, we're MLB ready as a market. And so when you see a stadium like this built, and you see that there's so much commercial enthusiasm for it, people buying tickets, companies wanting to be sponsors, wanting to affiliate, it shows that our market is ready, that we can support a Major League Baseball team at the highest level. And there's a lot of momentum in our state right now. And whether it's, adding hockey and seeing what that's done, or the Olympics coming, or the growth or the economy, it's just one more indication about the Larry H. Miller Company, Utah. That's a place where we want to be, and we are confident that Major League Baseball will continue to hear that, so that when they're ready to expand, we want to be at the top of the list.
There are a lot of markets where they can't say that they're growing, right?
They can't check any of those boxes, Steve.
Not even just from an economic standpoint, from a population standpoint. Those things are important. I mean, all those things check those boxes of people wanting to, bring sports here. But I mean, live sports is as popular as it's ever been, maybe the most popular it's ever been in terms of the eyeballs on it, the willingness for people to part ways with hard-earned dollars because it's something that we love as a community. Have you looked at that and seen, and when you guys do your market research, you look and you go, man, baseball is a huge part of that chunk too, because it doesn't matter what happens. Like, I know what it's like to come and sit at a ball game on May 30th, and what that feeling is, what the smells are, what the temperature is outside, and how much different that is from even other experiences you can have in the sports world.
Utah's become a global leader in sports, and I don't say that overstating it. I'm in conversations every week with people that want to invest in Utah sports, and it's the growth, it's the Olympics, it's the fact that athletes are training here in the off season. It's the Jazz and its legacy, it's hockey, it's certainly baseball, it's Real Salt Lake and the Royals. And so Utah's become that place where, because we have a young population and strong youth programs, you want to invest where there's youth and growth. And then you want to invest where there's a vibrant economy, there's strong median wages. We check all those boxes. We're a 4-season state, and it's easy to do business here, and those things really matter. And people love baseball in Utah. I mean, our data and our market research shows that people are so excited about this project and the future of baseball in our state and where it's going.
My two boys picked up their Bees shirts last night at their local rec center.
That's awesome.
Like, hey man, it's part of what we've done here for decades, right? People who are raising families, and we're in the middle of that, right? Where it's like, I've got young kids who are coming up in if it's junior Jazz, if it's the Salt Lake Junior Bees, all that stuff. All of those things are part of what kind of represent who we are as a community. Not
we
just
want to be able to give our families
Yeah.
experiences. We all want to have experiences, and this is one of those things that allows us to provide that, and this is one of the services you guys are providing here.
We'll have an announcement here in the next couple of weeks that we're excited about. But when we're able to talk about that, what you're going to see is that we've caught the attention of people across the country, and there are people nationally that want to invest here. and we're really excited about that. And
You're building an NFL stadium next door. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Well, Steve, there is a report out there about something. I don't know what you can talk about or say about it. I'll mention it here because the report's out there that there may be some discussions going on between the Larry H. Miller Company and some owners of Real Salt Lake about buying those franchises. My question to you, if you don't want to address that directly, is what is the ambition of the Larry H. Miller Company when it comes to your sports portfolio? How much do you want that to expand and grow?
Yeah, great question. Michelle Smith just came and sat next to us. She's the president of Miller Sports Entertainment. We've been at this for 40 years.
Yeah.
It started with the Jazz, but it included an arena, included radio stations at various times. It included the racetrack, the Tour of Utah. And so the Miller family has this long-lasting passion and commitment to professional sports and youth sports in the state. And so we've always said that we build platforms. Sports and entertainment is still one of our core platforms, along with real estate, with healthcare, with investments like SWIG. And so we never look to grow just for growth's sake. To us, it's never just about an investment. What we're looking to do is build community, and sports is a great way to do that. We owned the Jazz for 36 years. It was one of the most winning franchises during the Millers' ownership. You know, with Coach Sloan, we have Hall of Famers, NBA Finals appearances, a deep commitment to excellence. And so when opportunities arise, I think we take a look at every one if it fits that criteria. Can we invest in the community? Does it gather people together? Does it bring families together? And can we do it at a world-class level? And so we're excited about sports and entertainment in our future. It's just part of what we do. And I think that it's important because people will sometimes, I'll hear them say, like, I'm surprised to hear this rumor that Gail Miller is buying, and certainly Gail Miller was the co-founder of the company, but what you have is a second generation of Miller family members and a third generation now, and a really seasoned team of executives that have learned along the way that are prepared for the future to pick up that flag and carry it into the decades to come, like we've seen Larry and Gail do for so long.
You know, we were talking a little bit about what, you know, this is like all 30,000 foot. Well, it might be space look down onto Earth. You know, it's a big look down onto what the big picture is going to end up being. But for this ballpark and this team and like this moment, where is this franchise right now? When you talk about like this AAA club, we've watched this team for years play here locally, and you know, being a farm system for the Angels and how big of a deal it is to be able to do it. Like, where's this team at right now? Like, that was a question we asked Ty too. I know you might not be like, I don't know any of the players or anything, but like when you look and you go, no, but this is like, I mean, this team's growing. It's doing well, man.
Well, you probably saw the rebrand. We're so excited about the rebrand because what we said is let's create a major league appearance on a minor league team.
Yep.
And so we control everything outside the lines. And so the business, the stadium, the facilities, the surrounding area, and we seek to do that at a very high level that provides great experiences for families and for guests. Everything but in between the lines is really the Angels. If you go through the clubhouse today, what you're going to see is players taking photos of the clubhouse because it feels like
it looks
a
legit.
major league facility. Yeah. If you look out here where catchers and pitchers are warming up in that bullpen that you can see down, we want them to have that major league experience. And whether they're a guy that's in AAA for 3 years and never makes it, or whether they're here for 2 weeks like Mike Trout and a future Hall of Famer, we want them to come through Salt Lake and say, that's a place that's really special. And you probably saw Chris Bryant, you know, who won the World Series with the Cubs and broke the curse. He came out and said, hey, Salt Lake would be an amazing place to have a Major League Baseball team because of his experience here. And so we want to create that reputation so that everybody around baseball wants to come through here or has a great experience when they're here. On
that note, you know, we're looking around at Major League Baseball, and the Rays are having their problems with getting that stadium built. The A's have been – you've talked to the A's. You almost brought them here. They have their situation. Have you had any discussions with Commissioner Manfred or Major League Baseball that you can update people on, or what the latest is with where Major League Baseball is with when they want to expand or what's going on there with, you know, obviously this would be a perfect location. You're shovel ready, your ownership ready, everything's ready to go.
Yeah. The first thing is the business of baseball is really good. The sport is growing. The games are shorter. Ratings are up. And so there's a lot of great things happening with the sport generally. They've been very clear that they want to expand to 32 teams, but they're not ready to kick off a formal expansion us yet. And so what we've said is we want to be the most prepared market. You mentioned the Power District. The state and city have been amazing partners in helping be ready for that. We check all the boxes, but we're not going to get ahead of them in terms of expansion because we have no right to. It's really their franchise to grant, and they'll go through a process. And whenever they're ready, we'll be ready, and we believe that we should be at the top of the list for all the reasons we've been discussing.
From a political standpoint, I said that out loud, and I hate myself for saying that. This is a sports program. But, I mean, like, there's a lot that goes on to be able to make things like this happen, right? From the point of view of how much support you've gotten from not just local leadership, not just, like, the city of South Jordan, for example, but, like, the entirety of the state and the people that look around and go, hey, Steve, like, keep it going. Like, what's that been like?
Well, it's been amazing. It's a collaborative process. It's the state, it's the city, it's the county. And we talked about this project and the mayor of South Jordan, Dawn Ramsey, how amazing her and the city council have been. But at the Power District as well, you have their state authority in connection with the state fair park. And what I think people are so excited about is that it's a part of our city that's 5 minutes from downtown, 5 minutes from the airport, on a tracks line, bisected by the Jordan River. And people are saying, let's invest together in that community. Let's do it in a responsible way. And let's use sports as a catalyst to build community. And there's a great population there. There are people that are hardworking, humble, family-oriented community, and they're excited about the prospect of welcoming a Major League Baseball stadium. And to us, it's an opportunity to lift the economy in that part of the city. When we brought Mark Teixeira, who's a former Major League player and played with the Yankees for a long time.
I think about him as a Texas Ranger forever, that's just me and my.
Of course you would.
He's become a huge supporter of Big League Utah and what we're doing. But we took Mark by the side, and he's like, "Are you kidding me? 5 minutes from downtown, 5 minutes to the airport, this accessible, 100 acres." He's like, "This is unheard of to have this and to have the political support and partnership." It's a remarkable thing, and it requires our private investment too. I think that's what makes a partnership work, is that we're not seeking for tax increases.
Right.
We're looking for increment financing that requires that we put our own equity in, that we put risk, and then on the incremental taxes generated, some of that will come back to help fund a stadium, which will have the virtuous cycle of impacting the economy in a really positive way.
Growing up, I watched a basketball franchise walk out of the city that I love because it got to the point where people were like, no, we're not going to keep doing this for you. Like, the personal investment from the ownership wasn't there.
Yeah.
And that is a hard thing, to see.
You have to have owners invest their own capital.
Yeah, of course.
You do. It's got to be shared risk.
Well, Steve, I can't tell you how awesome this is. And, from our perspective as people who've covered sports in this market for 20 years, this is so exciting to see this build, to see the growth, and what you're providing for the community. We had talked about it earlier. We need experiences. We need shared experiences. We need to have an experience like this to come to. And so the fact that you're providing this for the community in this kind of setting is just phenomenal. So congratulations on all of this.
Thank you. And you're about to talk to the person who's responsible for this ballpark.
Yeah, look forward to that.
She gets the credit.
Yeah, no, Michelle put the headset on, but the thing is like, don't think that you're just listening on this point.
You didn't get out of it. You didn't get out of it.
She's like, I gotta see exactly what Steve said.
I got a whole list of questions for you.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it. So Michelle Smith's gonna join us next hour, and we're gonna chat a little bit more in depth about all of what's going on right here. And